Hello, FGCU cross country fans, and welcome to a Thursday afternoon edition of the Big D podcast. Before I bring in today's special guest, please like and share the Spunky Spectrum Sports YouTube page where you never know who or what to expect. And also for audio peeps, you can check out the Big D podcast on Spotify and Apple if you like those podcasts that way. So please look it up there. So joining us from Tallahassee, mask and all, hat and everything else and all is my friend and current FGCU cross country coach Cassandra Goodson. She will be joined shortly by Karley Pier and Osman Humeida, who are competing tomorrow in the let me see if I can get this, the FSU Open in Appalachia Regional Park in Tallahassee tomorrow morning. So coach, you ready for another meet tomorrow?
Yeah, we're excited. This is a very competitive meet. So, the teams are excited to get going again and have another opportunity to compete.
Yeah, we'll talk about some of the high-profile teams, including not just local teams, but national teams. You got some high-profile teams coming in. You've got the defending national champ, Brigham Young University on the women's side. Stanford's always known as a great cross-country program. You've got, and of course, FSU, and then the men's race, you've got Stanford. What else is new? Furman and Southern Utah are both in the top 25.
Yeah, it's a very competitive meet, like I said, and so they're just excited for the opportunity. So yeah, we're really excited.
Yeah, thinking back to your first race in Boca Raton a couple weeks ago, Osman took home first place in the men's race, and Karley finished fifth in the women's race. How proud were you to see two runners do so well in your first meet, A, and B? Did you see them perform this well in training?
Yeah, I mean, it was neat to see them up in the front for sure. Definitely proud of the effort of them and the whole team. The whole team did a really good job, especially considering the situation. They only got 20 minutes to warm up. And so it was obviously something that all teams had to deal with, but I'm just really proud of the way that they kept their composure and did what they could and focused on what they could control. So it was really cool to see that. And yes, to answer the other question, in training, they've been doing really well. So we were expecting, them to perform well that day.
Yeah, thinking back, for anyone who didn't see the race, there was a big weather lightning delay right before the race hit. So you ended up being delayed in a few hours. So you ended up racing much later into the night than originally planned, correct?
Yes. They staggered the start. So the men started first, and then I think it was 8 minutes after the women started. So it's pretty unique and different.
Yeah, because usually in cross country, the women's race is usually a half hour before the men's race, because the women's cross country events are usually 5Ks. The men's cross country events are 8Ks.
Right. Yeah. That week it was a 5K and a 5K.
Yeah, was that because of the course, or was that because you were literally running short of time because literally the lightning
No, it was scheduled to be that, so we already knew that the guys were running 5K.
Yeah, they were probably because usually because an 8K would be 5 miles, so a 5K for the guys probably felt more like a mini warm-up.
Yeah, I think they warmed up in their first mile of the race just because the warm-up was cut short.
Yeah, so usually how long do athletes warm up? How long do your athletes usually warm up before a race? Half hour, 45 minutes?
Yeah, they usually plan to start warming up 45 minutes before the start. They do a jog, and then they have drills that they do. So it takes about 45 minutes.
Yeah, so And also one other thing, because usually if you're running at 7:30, your athletes probably ate food probably 3, 4 hours before the race, usually like 4:30 thereabouts.
Yeah, we had little Subway sandwiches for them to get something in that was after lunch, but before the race.
So then what did you do hydration wise before during the delay before the race is started?
I mean, I think we just left it up to them as far as like personal preference, but definitely they were still hydrating and getting ready for the race. They were just trying to stay as ready as they could be because we didn't know when it would start.
And I mean, because you couldn't like go to a hotel. You probably just, I mean, where did you go? But before the race, probably just stay on the bus, right?
Right. We stayed on the bus.
I'm just thinking, stay on the bus, probably listen to, probably, yeah, probably just listen to music, put on your iPhone and just put on music for 2.5 hours, right?
Yeah, probably.
So where are these youngins? Can we get them in here?
Yeah, I'll get Karley just finished, so I'll have you talk with her first, and then after Oz can talk.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, here she is.
Hey,
Hi.
hi, Karley. What's up?
Hi, how are you?
I don't know. I don't know if you're a meteorology student, but is the weather any different in Tallahassee compared to Fort Myers?
It is, I mean, it is raining a little bit right now, but honestly, when we stepped off the bus, it did feel pretty similar. It's definitely humid here, like back in Fort Myers, but yeah, I'm not really sure. Definitely
Yeah,
different from where I'm from.
yeah. So, yeah, trust me. Back home, we've been dealing with rain most of the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you're actually from Maine, right?
I'm from Southern Maine, so I'm definitely not familiar with the heat every single day, but I've always been a fan of running in the heat. I prefer it more than the cold, so.
I'm just saying, like, January, what would be the temperature back home?
Oh my gosh, it can get up to like 20 degrees and then below. Like it goes below zero and it's like snowing, blizzards and all that.
Yeah, I'm just saying, 20 below zero, 75 and sunny. 20 below zero, 75 and sunny. I could,
It's definitely way different than here. But I think I'm finally getting used to the difference in heat. I mean, in the summer in Maine, it gets pretty hot, but definitely not like down here in Florida. I came down here early August just to kind of get acclimated, and I think that helped me a lot with kind of getting used to the difference in weather.
yeah, let me tell you, as someone who runs a couple times a week here, the heat's not the problem, but the humidity is the big difference.
Yeah, for sure.
So thinking of your first race this year in Boca, I mean, what were your expectations before that race?
I wasn't really going into it with any like expectations for myself. I was just kind of like gonna go out and try my best. I wasn't gonna compare any times to what I've ran back home because like I said before, the heat is definitely different. So I just wanted to kind of go in with a good attitude rather than putting any pressure on the race, and that's kind of how I went about it.
Yeah, I mean, were you looking for like, were you thinking, I mean, how did you feel nerve-wise? Because obviously everybody's nervous for your first race, whether it be a 5K at the Olympic trials or a regular or your first college 5K.
Would you say, sorry, was I nervous? Were you?
Yeah, were you feeling a little anxious just to get the first race? You're thinking, I'm ready to
I
race.
definitely felt like definitely had some like pre-race nerves just because I typically tend to get nervous regardless of what race it is. But I definitely trust the process and trust the plans that I'm given by Coach Goodson and Coach Cruz. And I overall, like, I did feel prepared and ready for the race because I know the workouts have been going well between me and my teammates. So I just like went into that trusting the efforts that we've put into the past couple of workouts. And I'm kind of going into this race with the same feeling, like trusting everything that we've been doing in the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, be honest with you, I've run 24 5Ks and still get nervous for each one of them.
Same with
I cannot, it doesn't matter what I do, I cannot sleep before any of my races. I'm like, what? I'm like, I should just stay up, even though I'm sure it would have slowed me down like 15 minutes. Like, I should just pull an all-nighter the day before.
I mean, same here. It's just, yeah, I've been running since since elementary school, and I can't remember a race where I was like just not nervous. Like there's always definitely those like pre-race jitters that I get. And I think like it's normal. Like I've just kind of accepted it. And I think it's what makes me feel like when I get that feeling, I'm like, okay, I'm ready. Like it's kind of like, it brings me back to all the races I've done. And it's just like a similar feeling I've had each time.
Yeah, if you're not nervous, then what? If you're not nervous, then why are you running?
Exactly. That's kind of what I've accepted. Like you just got to be nervous and accept those feelings.
So for your first collegiate race, you ran a 5K in 18 minutes, 39.1 seconds, second fastest time for a freshman at FGCU, and you finished fifth among the women. So when you crossed that finish line, what were you thinking?
I was excited because I originally didn't know my time, and I was just kind of exciting the fact that I finally, like, I finished my first college race, and it was just more of like exciting because it's like a new chapter. And I liked how, because back in Maine, it's a small town and everything, and everyone like knows the runners, and I kind of liked going into it with no one really knowing who I am, kind of like no expectations. And that's what I liked about my first collegiate race, is that it was just very like no one really was expecting anything, and it was like no pressure. And I think that's why like things went well for me.
Yeah, not just things went well. I mean, was it hard waiting that 2.5 hours before a race? Or were you thinking, I'm ready, I'm fit, I'm ready to rumble?
Yeah, it was definitely just waiting in the bus was definitely an annoying thing, but it made us more ready. Like once we got out there, we're like, okay, this is our time. Because at one point we were like, oh gosh, what if it gets canceled? So at that point, you're just grateful that we did get the opportunity to run, because my family came down for my first race. My grandparents came down. So I was like, oh gosh, like this thing better not get canceled. They flew down here for this. So at that point, we were just like grateful that we ended up still getting the opportunity.
And you know what? Maybe actually the race being delayed a couple hours worked, because it got all that humidity out of the way, and everyone could run faster.
Exactly. I definitely think that the rain kind of cooled everything off, in my opinion. That's what I felt. So I kind of, that definitely was like an advantage to having it be so rainy, and it cooled things down for us. So.
And then, of course, I think your performance helped the men's race, because Osman won that race and won that race concurrently with you, because I think you all like took off like 8 minutes apart, right?
Yeah, so the guys, it had to be really close because of how it just got really late in the day. So the boys took off, and then literally like, yeah, it was probably like 5 to 8 minutes the girls then took off. So the boys did get to see like half of our race, but it was kind of interesting. I've never done anything like that. I have started with the boys, but having that like staggered start was definitely different. But
I mean, because both of you ran the same course, right?
Yes. So the boys did do a 5K as well. So we both ran a 5K.
I'm just saying. Did they catch you at some point in the race? Were you like far enough ahead that they didn't really catch you? It wasn't just one concurrent loop around
So
us.
the boys like started ahead of us, and then the boys that were a little bit like behind, we ended up catching up to them. So the top like girls ended up catching some of the boys that were towards the back of the pack, but they kind of like, we didn't end up like finishing together. It just happened to be that we kind of ran into each other at that point.
Yeah, that would have been a different side. So
Yeah.
Coach, can we get the big man in himself?
Yeah, I'll go grab him right now.
What is he doing? Calisthenics? Is he going to be doing like jumping jacks all night?
He's just sitting right now.
Oh man. This is what happens when you have an iPhone, 2 kids, and a coach for an interview.
Exactly. All right. Well, here he is. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Karley, and we wish you the best tomorrow.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Here you go.
Hello, how's it going?
Fine, Osman. How about you?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
Doing fine. I hope the humidity doesn't wreck that awesome hairdo you have.
Oh, nah. Honestly, I moved down here, and it hasn't been that bad, surprisingly.
Well, I mean, Blacksburg, Virginia is pretty hot and humid this time of year, but it's not going to last long when it get. Yeah, wait till December. You're going to be thinking, oh man, I'm glad I'm in Florida when it's like 75 and sunny, and it'll be like 40 back home.
Yeah, no, oh my God, that's what I'm excited about, because like those Blacksburg winters were so harsh. Like they were cold, and I was freezing and everything.
What was the coldest temperature you
in Blacksburg?
In Blacksburg.
Oh, probably like it definitely got in like the single digits, like 8 degrees.
Ooh, and you probably wore like 15 layers. You probably wore like
yes. Yeah. Oh my God, I literally every day I practice, we would have to wear full tights and like 4 layers, like in jackets, like, and then like as you got warmer, you would strip down. But like it was so cold, and the wind made it so bad.
I mean, be honest, I ran a race at FGCU a year and a half ago, and I've never ran a race in tights, and that was the only one I ran in tights because it was like 45.
Yeah, like I noticed it. Yeah, like the tights I have here, I'm like, damn, I wonder if I'm even going to use these because it's so warm here.
Yeah, so thinking back to your first race for FGCU, you won the men's 5K in 16 minutes and
15.
And
15:35.
15:35. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're fine. Times get mixed up.
Oh yeah, 15:35. Thank you. So you became the first Eagle to win an individual race in Boca in 5 years. So when you were waiting for the race to start, were you thinking, I've got a chance to win this?
To be honest, I knew it was gonna be like the field was gonna be small, and I was like, okay, like I never put myself like as number one. I never do that going into a race, but also I never count myself out either. It's like I always just like I'm like, if I'm gonna race, I'm gonna race like I'm trying to win. You know, just have that mindset.
Was the fact that it was a 5K compared to a normal 8K a little easier because you're thinking I don't have to hold something back for the end of the race. I can push the pace if need be.
It definitely helped, especially because like it's at the beginning of the season and not everyone's in their best shape yet. So that's definitely easier mentally too, just to get back into like the racing mode because it's been so long. And yes, like I definitely felt like I just had a lot left for that race for sure.
I mean, on a scale of 1 to 100, what kind of? I mean, at this point in the season, you're probably in good running shape, but you're probably not in good race shape, correct?
Yeah. Yes, I agree. Just because it's so early still, and we still have like literally from our next meet, we have like a month between. But I think on a scale 1 to 10, I'd probably be like, in terms of like, if 10 was my best shape in terms of racing, I'm probably right now like a high 7 or 8.
I was thinking 7 or 8. So
yeah.
So when you crossed that line and everybody else was behind you, what were you thinking?
Honestly, at FAU, I was like, it's a good start. You know, obviously, like, this is a small meet. You know, like the competition is not that deep here. So, but like, it was definitely something to celebrate. I was like, this is definitely a good start to the season. You know, like it's always like no matter regardless of time, like whenever you can get a win, like that's something to be happy about.
Hey, a win's a win, right?
Yeah, definitely. No, I definitely agree with that.
So going in the mall, I mean, it's obviously a bigger meet. You've got Stanford here, Florida State. You've got a bunch of top level teams. I mean, BYU, Stanford on the women's side, Stanford, of course, on the men's side. Seems like
these guys are literally like national runners, like guys that be like getting all Americans here and stuff like that. So
yeah, so and you're running over a longer distance, so it's really going to test you both physically and maybe more so mentally.
Yeah, for sure.
So obviously, the mall with the longer distance. What are you looking forward to accomplishing the mall?
I mean, honestly, it's the first AK, you know, so I'm not super stressed on it, and also it's like it is a fast course, so I am trying to take advantage of that, and I'm just gonna like. I know I'm in like somewhat like I've been luckily like the whole team in general has been killing workouts and stuff, so I feel pretty good about this race. I'm just gonna put myself out there and see what I can do in terms of my individual goals and stuff. You know, like obviously some big, like you always got to worry about what you can do personally, like individually, like worry about your own goals and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you've already tested your condition once. You're thinking, I want to see if I can compete against the Stanfords, the Florida States, the BYUs, or any other teams, because eventually, whether it be here or at one of these meets, you're going to face stiff competition.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's like, and I want to represent the school well too, and just do the best I can to my capabilities.
Hey, I mean, I have seen a few FGCU athletes push the pace in the at some of these meets. Will you just try and push the pace if need be, or just wait and see what happens?
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I'm never a guy to push the pace. Like, I'm never a guy to front lead, especially knowing like there's great competition here. You know, I'm a guy that always works my way into it, and definitely like you know because the competition is so deep here. Like, I'm just gonna worry about my individual goals and like likely like hopefully just being able to perform to my capability.
So I mean, have you gotten a look at the course because
yeah, we just ran it right now. Like I would say about 15-20 minutes ago.
I mean, is it?
It's a fast course. Like from the courses I'm compared to in Blacksburg, where it's like mountain and hilly, it is pretty fast.
Yeah. I was just thinking Tallahassee is not Blacksburg, Virginia, in terms of mountains.
No,
like,
not at all.
Probably more like a pancake.
Yeah, it's a whole complete different vibe. Like, wow, it's low key been like a blessing. Honestly, like it's been so easy for me. I'm like, wow. And then like when these guys see a hill, it's like, wow, oh my god, it's so hard. And I'm just like, oh, this is nothing.
But the one difference is instead of mountains, you get humidity here.
No, I definitely agree. That's for sure. And that's something I've definitely had to face.
Are mountains harder than humidity, or is Florida's humidity harder than mountains?
I would say they're both hard, honestly. They're both equally hard, especially because humidity could definitely play a role in your breathing and all that. So it could definitely play a huge role for sure.
Could you move your? Could you? I want to see them. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me tell you, as someone who's trained in this heat and humidity, it just zaps you. Like after 20 minutes, I am done. I am like, yeah.
No, it's definitely super hard. Especially that's why we do our best to like wake up as early as we can and just get the run done in the morning. But even then, it's like so humid.
Yeah, I try and run like literally sunrise, and I'm still drenching sweat, exhausted at like 7:30.
Yeah, definitely. No, but it's like just something you got to push through. You know, that's just the weather down here.
Yeah, it's the price. It's the price you pay for living in Florida. You get all this fabulous heat and humidity.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, I'm excited for tomorrow though, for sure.
Yeah, can't wait to see the results, and I wish you Karley and Coach Goodson the best to them all, and
I appreciate it.
And run hard, run smart, and leave it all out there.
Definitely. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.